happening. So, I decided to do a late night creep. Basically, do a late night stream. I got my evening rest. So, I got a little bit of time on my hands. So I thought I'd put together a little stream. But, you just really starting to see what a lot of these fighters are made out of. Like I said before, these fighters, these black fighters in particularly, they just don't have no backbone, gutless. At the end of the day, they continue to let Teofimo Lopez make all these racial innuendos, but they won't say nothing to this dude. But most of these people know in all likeliness, Teofimo is he's just a clown. And that's just real talk. And basically, this thumbnail describes Teofimo. He's just he's corny. He is, I'm talking about he is corny and lame. And like I said, you try to make all these sneak disses towards black people, but then, like I said, and I ask everybody once again, if black people is this and black people is that, then why do you try to dress like us? Why do you try to talk like us? Why you try to duplicate our coolness, our swagger, everything that's tied to our culture? If we're, if we're not all that. It's funny you make fun and try to disrespect people that you try to copy off of. So that kind of makes you look like a moron. But Teofimo Lopez acting like he really wants to fight with Terrence Crawford. Basically, he wants to fight Terrence Crawford on the same date that he was offered a decent amount of money to fight Devin Haney. At the end of the day, he's using Bud and, basically his bigotry and his racism to basically try to bring notoriety to himself. I guess he haven't got the memo on what happened to Ryan Garcia, that Ryan Garcia got removed from a video game because of his attitude and just continuous racial slurs and, references to particularly black people. But then you have these fighters, they're gutless, they don't have nothing to say. And the funny thing is, you get people that'll try to tell people like me that I shouldn't give them that type of energy and all this stuff. Cowards. So you want to sit, and this proves where black people is mentally. So you want to argue with me all day about what I should say, what I shouldn't say, what I shouldn't speak on. You want to try to lecture me, but the people you should be getting at, you want to holler this, oh, well, you have to be bigger than that, let him say that stuff and all. Because when do it get to the point to where we defend ourselves? Like I said, black people, in particularly black men, are the only ones that's shamed for defending ourselves. And like I said before, all that stuff about victimhood and all that stuff, that don't work on me. Like, you can't hurt anybody or make somebody feel bad when they don't care about your opinion. Because I'm going to continue to say what needs to be said. Teofimo is just lame, and that's just the bottom line. And shout out to, for real, shout out to the correspondent Miggs for not wanting to talk to him because he wanted to do an interview. He was waiting for people to interview him. And Teofimo Lopez, he was copping a plea saying, oh, nah, it ain't what you think and all this kind of stuff. It is what you think. You done made several references to black people, specifically trying to diss black people. But then you got, like I said, you got all these fighters that want to sit up here and ridicule and come down on Devin Haney, but they ain't got nothing to say about Teofimo. They ain't got nothing to say about Ryan Garcia. All of a sudden, they don't want to have that conversation. Oh, well, it says that you... No, shut up. Like I said, you boxers are lame. And don't get mad at me. And then when you try to talk to them, they get mad at you. They got an attitude towards you because you didn't call them out. Well, that's the attitude you should have towards Teofimo Lopez. You got to say, hey, Teofimo, you got to knock this stuff off. And the only person that's been consistent in calling Teofimo Lopez out on basically his racism is Aki. And shout out to Aki. But you sure don't have these other dudes. You sure don't have these so-called black channels calling Teofimo Lopez out because they want views. They want to sit, like I said, we're always told to don't say nothing, to ignore people, turn the other cheek, pray for them. Well, I'm not turning the other cheek and I'm not praying for nobody. That is a gimmick now, and that's a con, and that's a facade, because nobody else acts that way. Nobody else is told to do that except us. Everybody is allowed to say what they want to say about us, but then when we try to respond and we tell other people they should respond, then all of a sudden people get scared. What are we scared of? Once again, why should be worried about what other people think? You don't care what black people think about you, so why should you care what other people think about you? Why you want to sit up here and always argue with black people? That's weak. That's cowardly. Don't fault me because I have the stones and other people to call this stuff out. And it's just getting disgusting. Everybody feel like they can say and do something to us. Now it's like, I mean, now it's a free for all on how everybody tries to disrespect black people. Like I said, you boxers are gutless. And once again, don't roll your eyes at me if you see me. Don't get mad at me because you need to be saying something to these dudes. What, you don't want to rock the boat? So you like the Asian man on Menace to Society? I don't want any trouble. Just get out. But you want all the smoke with black people. Typical. Typical. What does that say about you when you somebody that only want to argue with people that look like you, but because they disrespected you? But if somebody that doesn't look like you disrespect you, then all of a sudden you want to get quiet. Told you, I don't care. I don't care, and I'm not going to keep allowing this. I'm not going to keep allowing Teofimo Lopez to disrespect my people. But you notice these people never come on here trying to argue with me about that kind of stuff. They know better than to come on here trying to talk crazy to me and try to say, oh, that victimhood stuff. Because like I said, these were the same people who was crying about what Devin Haney said. And what I'm trying to figure out, what did that, to you people that wasn't white or, Eastern European, what did that have to do with you? But y'all, aligned yourself with, what I'm saying, yeah, the mayonnaise nation to come after Devin Haney. But y'all so-called say y'all are people, our brothers and sisters, and that there's an alliance. There ain't no damn alliance. You chose your side. Just like y'all been silent about what Ryan Garcia said. You want to talk about the outcome of the fight instead of what type of person and what type of character Ryan Garcia has demonstrated. So tell me where I'm wrong at. Tell me where am I wrong at? What part did I miss? I'm just waiting for somebody to tell me where am I wrong at? And when are you guys gonna stand up and grow a pair and call Teofimo Lopez out? But none of these so-called boxing media channels gonna say nothing because they know the claim to fame, basically in social media or these type of media platforms is to basically put down black people, because this just goes to show you this disdain and dislike that people really have for black people. As long as you join forces together to come at and come down on black people, it's all good. And it says a lot about your character. Says a lot about you. You really didn't have people just turning a blind eye to the stuff Ryan Garcia did say, turning a blind eye to the stuff Teofimo Lopez said, turn a blind eye to some of the stuff that Sergey Kovalov said. But everybody was pushing the record button, talking about what Devin Haney said about Vasil Lomachenko. But then they'll say, if I talk about racism towards me, then I get called a race baiter, a race hustler. First of all, I'm not hustling race. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling the truth. You're not going to silence me. You're not going to make me feel guilty about it. I'm going to continue to speak on this BS, and it got to be done. Somebody got to do it. I got to be the one to take the risk. Then that's okay, because I sleep better at night knowing that I tried to make a difference, that I tried to call this BS out. But Teofimo Lopez, I mean, at the end of the day, nobody believes that he could beat Terrence Crawford in an actual fight. This is a dude that basically his last fight, they put a guy in the ring with him to knock out, and he couldn't knock him out. And then not to mention that Teofimo, once again, he can't sell out a Starbucks. You know, I mean, he just can't sell out a Starbucks, like, for real. He can't even sell out the seating area at Starbucks. He can't sell out the dining area at Chick-fil-A. He can't. That's one reason why nobody is interested in a Terrence Crawford fight, because Terrence Crawford would be an overwhelming favorite, and then nobody would really be interested in seeing that fight, because we all know what's going to happen to Teofimo Lopez. Nobody with common sense believes Teofimo can do anything. Even with Bud being 37, Bud will hurt Teofimo. He will hurt him. He will knock him out. And knowing Bud might try to do some serious damage to Teofimo Lopez. Bud knows there's no money into him fighting Teofimo Lopez. So if anybody's saying that Terrence Crawford is ducking Teofimo Lopez, like, please stop it. You really showing me how shallow you are, and how clueless you are, and how baseless you are, that if you think that Teofimo Lopez could do anything with Terrence Crawford. And that's just real talk. And it just got to be said about this dude. When do it get to the point to where enough is enough? He's continued to say this stuff because this is what I mean. He's showing people that he don't respect black people right after he turned around and go on camera and try to switch it up. Oh, no, I didn't mean it like that. But then he resorts right back to talking crazy. And then you'll get people trying to justify this stuff. Oh, man, you guys are sensitive. You guys, but then, like I said, you seen what happened when, those people came talking crazy to me. And then when I gave them the same type of energy that they was justifying with Ryan Garcia, then all of a sudden they wanted to change their tune. Then all of a sudden they talk about they going to pray for me. So, Teofimo Lopez is just corny. Just got to be said, he's a lame. I'm talking about he is the epitome of lame. You cannot put the L in lame without thinking about Teofimo Lopez. Nobody is buying what you selling. We don't believe you. You need more people. And even if you got more people, we still wouldn't believe you. And if the people you got people, and they got people, and then the people that got people went and got some more people, we still wouldn't believe you. That's just real talk. That's how much credibility that you have with people. Now, of course, people will get on the internet because it's the internet and try to make it look like they really believe that Teofimo could beat Terrence Crawford. Nobody believes that. Teofimo doesn't have a fan base. He doesn't have a country behind him. He doesn't have neither country behind him. He doesn't have Honduras behind him, or does he have the United States? Because he goes about it all wrong. So like I said before, you don't like black people, stop trying to get low fades. Stop listening to our music. Stop trying to talk like us. Stop trying to dress like us. Go back to being a garbage man. Go do that. Because we know your ticket sales are synonymous with your side job was garbage. So go pick up garbage. There you have it. Anyway, it's your boy Tam. Appreciate you guys listening. Appreciate you guys being here. But I needed to speak on this. And you black fighters that continue to allow this, y'all part of the problem. Y'all are cowards and y'all gutless. Now, I'm out.